Hello, my name is Amina and I'm your decision-making specialist. And my friend, oh my gosh, may I tell you, she just got a puppy. Cute, well beyond cute. Just absolutely a lovely mixture of who knows what. And just this little perky little ball of energy. And I think that Henry's about 7 or 8 weeks old. And she has been waiting and waiting and waiting to adopt this dog. Oh my gosh, she is so happy. So she was telling me that she had been watching all these massive numbers of videos about being a really good pet owner. She never had a pet before. Maybe a turtle when she was little, but that was about it. And that was not a pretty story, so we won't tell that one. And so she was telling me about how to take care of the puppy. So I'm listening because it's really important to her. And so she's telling me about how to take care of the dog, have a proper place for the dog to sleep that's warm and cozy and comfortable and just belongs to Henry. And then to feed, be sure that Henry has enough food to try to slow him down when he eats, so he has time to digest the food and not overeat him, overfeed him, and so that he'll just grow up to be a healthy, happy puppy dog. And then she said that there was the one video that showed that, you don't reprimand and you never hit the dog and you don't tell the dog how terrible it is. You just, when the dog does something that is the way you'd like the dog to behave, that you be sure that you praise the dog and use a certain tone, and so the dog will learn to associate that with wanting to come to you, with knowing what's okay, what's not. And then she got to a part which, have you ever been talking to somebody and then suddenly what they were saying, just you tippy-toed into another little cubbyhole, another little room, and had these little private thoughts going on? Now, they weren't about her. They were about what she was telling me about Henry. What she was telling me is about dog parks. And probably you already know I knew about them. I didn't know that much about them. And she said, well, that's where you take your dog. And then he's on a leash while you are walking and whatever you're doing. And so then when you go to a dog park, you take off the leash and the dog goes and is free to play. And I thought, when my brain went over to that little private place, that's like I do with my brain. I put my brain on a leash. I call it law of focus. It's really that my dog's on a leash and that I have it focus for a certain length of time on a project. Maybe you do too. You just haven't looked at it in this way. And so the research has shown 51, 52, I rounded down to 50 just because that's what I do, and so I'll offer that part to you, that for 50 minutes, your brain is on a leash. And that focus is there. The best part that I like, and I have to remind myself, so I'm helping you if you want to remind yourself, is when I get up from that 15 minutes, not to make myself stay on the leash and do another project immediately. Give myself 10 minutes, 15 minutes off the leash, playing in the brain park, like your puppy. I don't call my brain Henry. You can call your brain whatever you want. Just be sure that you take your brain off the leash and let it go to the brain park and play. Then you put the leash back on. You do another 50-minute block on the same job project, or you can put it on a new one and kind of rotate your 3 main projects that way. And also I'm going to offer this, and that is for me. I'm guessing about you too. Boy, sometimes my brain does not want a leash on it. It does not want to focus. It wants to stay in the brain park. So what I do is I kind of plea bargain. And I tell my brain, okay, we're going to sit down or walk or wherever our project or our focus is for 10 minutes. So I have a 10-minute first time offer. Kind of like, you click and you get a month trial, or you get 2 months trial. Well, that 10 minutes is kind of like clicking the button. And I have a 10-minute trial option to sit down and see what happens. At the end of that 10 minutes, I can renegotiate. I can go to the brain park for a few minutes and then come back. Whatever way works for you. Different things work for me on different days because I'm different sometimes, and I'm guessing you are too. So have the 10-minute option. Now, the really fun part for me, and check it out for yourself when you try this, is that once I am on my leash for 10 minutes and I've clicked the try this free for 10 minutes, I usually stay. Things have kind of settled down. I don't notice the leash. And I am pretty much focused on whatever the task is, feeling kind of good because I'm on it, kind of seeing a vision of where it's going, and it's out of my imagination into something that I can physically touch and feel and contribute. So then I usually go ahead and stay my 50 minutes. And then the part that I really want to help you remember and me remember, because I forget, and that is to take my brain off the leash and go to the brain park. So that is where my mind wandered, and I'm offering that you might want to carry a leash for your brain, so that your brain knows when to focus and your brain knows when to play. Kind of like, I don't know if you did this, I did it. I'm hoping I'm not the only one. If I am, well, I am. And that is that I had different clothes that I wore to school, and then I had clothes I wore when I was at home. And so my school clothes were over here and my play clothes were here. And we did that because we didn't want to mess, or my mom didn't want us to mess up our school clothes, because we didn't have very many, and what we had were really, really precious. And the play clothes were just worn out or hand-me-downs or whatever. So we had those distinctions. And I'm saying use that with your brain. Let your brain be on a leash when it's time for school, for work, for focus. And take those times as really special. You don't want to clutter your brain. You don't want to make a mess on it. You want to keep it clean and fresh on that side. And then you change that leash, change your brain, go to the brain park and play and be as messy as you want with your brain in the brain park. Try it. I think it works. And I am willing, if you will, to try it as an experiment and see if it works for you. Thanks for coming. I am so glad you did. And come back tomorrow, and I will ask you, meanwhile, to take really good care of yourself, to stay safe and healthy, and do your very, very best to help others around you to stay healthy and well also. All right. Thanks again. Bye for now.